I'm Heather Vale.
And I'm Dr. Steve G. Jones.
And we're speaking today with Shelby Collinge. Shelby's an author, speaker, trainer, mentor, thought leader, and she has a website where she teaches people all about their limiting beliefs, including around money, which we're going to talk about today. Thank you, Shelby, for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's so good to be here. Love this topic.
Yeah.
All right. So money, I think money is great because it's measurable. It's kind of like weight. You know, are you gaining or losing money? Are you gaining or losing confidence, motivation? Those things are hard to measure, but money is easy to measure. So I always like to use that as an example. But tell us, what are some of the common challenges that people face when it comes to getting more of it?
Well, a lack mentality is definitely the first thing that comes to mind. And the thing about money is everybody has to have it, right? It's not an option.
Right.
Like confidence you don't necessarily have to have, and self-esteem you don't necessarily have to have, but the reality is to live on planet Earth, you must have money. So it's one of those things where it's the most belief-ridden topic that a lot of people have. Everybody's got opinions about money, whether, we were speaking offline, you don't really love or hate it. It's kind of like a thing to you. There's other people I know that are like, God, they're money hungry. They have to have it. Symbols, status, objects, toys. Those are all things that mean a lot to them. That's a significant, it shows a level of abundance, I guess you could say, prosperity.
Coolness.
Cool.
People like
Well,
to be cool
see
with their
that,
stuff.
yeah. And then there's other people who don't have enough of it, that want more of it, that feel like it's this thing that always slips right through their fingers, that it's very hard to get, and it's even harder to keep. And if you listen to the news at all, that's what you hear a lot of, is that you can't get enough of it, we're in a recession, it's really hard to come by. And of course, that's not true, or else that would be true across the board, right? If you ask Warren Buffett if it's hard to make money, he would say no. If you
He
ask,
only makes $1 a year, I heard.
well,
On
he
his
only
tax return.
earns, or receives his income from his.
He needs to watch this.
Right?
Maybe make $2 next year.
But the reality is that not everybody thinks it's hard to make money, and so being as though all people don't think it, then clearly it's one of those perception things, right? I mean, because it's not an absolute. So people have to really evaluate what they believe about money, and a lot of people think that you have to do things for money, like it's an exchange. And it is, right? Like if you go to a store and you want something from the store, you give them money and they give you the product. So it is a form of exchange, and depending on where you live in the country, we use different things, right? 100 years ago we used shells, and we used chickens and we used, I'll sell you my headband, and we trade and we barter. And right now we don't even have a gold-backed dollar. I mean, if you think about what money really is, it's a lot of nothing. It's just linen, really, linen.
I heard that
Cotton.
For all the money that's in banks and stuff like that in the United States, there's not paper to back it up. Isn't that weird?
There's no gold standard.
There's not
it's
a
all
gold
just
standard.
digital numbers.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. So
What if we all went to the bank and said, "Give us our money"? They wouldn't be able to.
They would not be able to. That's exactly right.
Isn't that what happened in 1929?
That's exactly right. So, and again, history repeats itself, right? Because we didn't learn that, But if you really start to think about money, what it is, then everything you think about it starts to collapse, because it's not backed by anything. It really isn't what you think it is, right? I mean, you get it from an ATM machine, you get it when you need cash back, but really the beliefs we have about money are 100% false. And I always tell people that if it's something that you struggle with, then the beliefs you have about money will live out in other areas of your life too. And another thing that I tell people is that money has ears. And a lot of people go, ooh, when I say that, because they know what they say out loud to themselves, to significant others, to the bank statement when it comes. But money hears everything that you say, and it multiplies when it has friends. So money likes friends.
You're personifying money.
Well,
It's like if these little dollars are running around.
I think if people maybe looked at it a little bit differently than the way that they do, like I would want them to picture it something that's furry and friendly and has long ears that you want to go, oh, I really like it. But when you think about what most people feel about money, that is not the feeling. It's like, tense, it's hard, it's jagged, and, money has ears. So if you say negative things about money, then money stays away. And if you say more positive things or nothing at all, right, when you have the non-attachment, like Steve so does over here, then it comes to you because it's like, it's an energy, and that's my definition
so
of
money's
money.
going, Steve, notice me, please, love me, take me.
Money's a groupie for me. I don't even notice it.
Right?
It still hangs around.
But that's really the way it works. It's kind of like in high school. If you think back to the popular kids when they walked down the hallway and you'd see the kids going, oh, it's like, you kind of, the popular kids didn't notice the ones that were going, oh, I really want to date him or her. And it's kind of like that sad sappiness that a lot of people had in high school. They had that same feeling, pining for it, wanting it, but never gonna have it feeling. And again, that's the whole lesson comes back, right? You didn't learn the lesson in high school when it comes to pining about people. So now you're gonna learn it in money because that's a little more conscious for people.
Okay.
But you always know very clearly limiting beliefs that you have when it comes to money, because it's a necessary thing and we have to deal with it. And so when frustration or non-positive results happen, something's up.
Okay, now let's take Steve's example though, because you said people that don't care about it, it's a non-attachment, so it comes to them. And with Steve, that's true. And yet I know other people who say, I don't care about money, money's not important. And they have none.
I can see where my mindset might lead people astray.
Right, yeah.
Grace, I don't care about money.
And that's what a lot of people say. It's like, well, when you hear someone say that, when you hear them say money's not important, you know that that's a poor person.
Well, let me clarify what I mean when I say money's not important to me. I've never focused on money. I do well financially because I focus on creating products that help the world and focus on how I can help. So I do focus on something that generates money.
Okay.
And it's not that, again, there's a difference between non-desire and non-attachment, okay?
Okay.
It's not that he doesn't desire finances, right? But the way he goes about it, it's almost like a chess game, right? And you have to figure out which pieces work best for you. So one of the things that I'm extremely competent at is cooking. You could say, oh, I want French onion soup tonight. Or you could say, you know what, I'd really love crab stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I could make it all. It really doesn't matter. Huh. The camera gal could say, you know what, I want baked chocolate souffle for dessert afterwards. And I'd say, fine, I can bake. There's absolutely no, call it a gift. Call it one of my, what's the word? Talents. And I use that in other areas that I don't feel as competent. So it's like, I'll put on my chef coat if I need to do something that's out of my comfort zone slightly. And a lot of people don't think to do that, like parenting may be easy. That's another thing I find extremely easy. I've been a single parent. My son will be 21. So there's not a lot that I haven't dealt with when it comes to parenting or financial issues for that matter. So, when parenting, when I need to do something where I'm not feeling 100% confident, I'll put on my parenting hat because that's a part of me that's very, very secure. And people have to be able to get out of themselves just a little bit to kind of do that when you think about money. And it's amazing the new shifts you'll even hear in your own head when it comes to money.
So let's put that in practical terms. Let's say somebody, let's think of a few things that people might be good at and see how we can apply that to money. First of all, how would you apply being great as a parent to being great with money?
Well, because there's a responsibility, right? You have to start thinking about what your feelings are about money. People always say, oh, you're so feeling. But it's like, when you think about money, I think more, like I said, the funny bunny rabbit. It's furry. It multiplies like rabbits. Yeah, right? I like carrying lots of money. There's always lots of cash. I like $100 bills. There's just something about $100 bills that I like. So I have a very positive feeling about money. If somebody didn't, then maybe they're a great gardener, maybe they're a great painter.
No, keep going, maybe find something good at.
Organizer, video
good.
process, business person, marketing, right? A lot of us are very handy. Like that's another thing. I'm Bob Vila in another body. I can cook or fix anything. Need a sink put in, I can do it. Need to put a window in, I can do it.
That fix-it mentality. You can fix your financial
situation. It's an old soul mentality. I mean, it's totally different topic, but I've lived a lot of lifetimes that I consciously remember, and I've been male a lot of lifetimes. So
for those who haven't,
who are new souls,
or who don't know if they
path.
have been or not, So talking about how they can bring in their specific strengths. So we've got parenting, you have the responsibility concept, you can bring that in.
Right.
Fix-it mentality, you have the fix-it concept, you can bring that in. What else might people be strong in?
Well,
that
you
they can
mentioned
bring in?
cooking.
And being of service, right?
Okay.
Getting on the other side of, again, you have to kind of identify what it is you think money, how you have to get it. That's one of the first things I ask people is, how do you think you get money? And a lot of people say, I get money from a job. That's how I get money. But that isn't true, right? Like a lot of us babysat. Think about if you've ever had a relative pass away and you get willed money. There's people who win the lottery. There's a gazillion different ways to attract money. But
Especially in Las Vegas.
right? Seriously, gambling, sports betting. I mean, a lot of people in these football leagues now, right? You can win money every single week. That doesn't really count, right? People don't think about those types of things as being able to attract money. That doesn't count as money manifesting, when of course it does, right? Money is just energy. It stands for my own natural energy yield. And so it's something that either you attract or you repel. There really is no neutral, right? It's like everything is either growing or dying. So either the plant is growing in your office or it's turning brown and it's dying. But you can't say, plant, just stay there for the next 6 months.
Stunt.
And don't move. Because
Right.
that's not at all the way anything works. So with money, I would first look at if there's a shortage, right? And then asking yourself consciously, it's amazing, our computers, we get these little things. It happens to me like twice a week from Microsoft that says there's an update. This
Right.
needs to be updated. And you click it and it does it. And all of a sudden you're more in compliance now and this has been fixed and this has been fixed. And we don't do that about, what do you think about money now? Like when you were a kid and I babysat, $20 was a lot of money.
Right.
Then when I had a son, $20 was not a lot of money anymore.
That's the tip.
That's the tip on the bill for dinner, right? Now now you get older, it's the tip. It's like, everything keeps changing, but our beliefs about money don't. Like how you get it, whether or not it's a friendly thing. That would be another thing, is to really ask yourself, do you think money as more of a friend or an enemy? Seriously. And there's no right or wrong answer, but the more honest you are with yourself, the easier it'll be to change.
Well, there has to be a wrong answer, because if you say enemy and you want more money, you're kind of stuck.
Well, but that's not the wrong answer, that's the truthful answer. So let's work from there and
Okay.
then figure out why it is you hate it. Is it because you think there's not enough of it? Is it because here's a great way that you can get to the core of it, is to write money a letter.
Okay.
And I seriously recommend, make it an experiment, but write money a letter. Dear money, and then tell it everything that you think about it. And then when you're done, read it. And it'll be amazing what you read about what you really feel about money, and realizing that if you said the things that you said to money to anyone else, they would not be your friend either.
Well,
Interesting.
see, I would say money, I want to throw you on the bed and roll around naked in you. I think friends would be okay with that, right? Like,
Well, if it was
Maybe it
your
depends
money,
on the
maybe not if it was their money. But, the things that, it kind of goes back to that money has ears thing. It's like if the bill comes in, you're like, what's your initial first reaction? I'm not going to be able to pay this. I'm going to have to go without for something I really want to pay this. It was more than what I thought.
Right.
Very rarely is it, oh great, the money will show up for this. Or thank you for the signs of my abundance. When you think about a bill, someone's entrusted you with a service, right?
okay, but money doesn't just show up just because we say, oh, the money will come.
True.
So, this
Especially if you don't believe that. I mean, there's people that believe that money will arrive and they don't believe against it. This is probably one of them right here.
Okay.
And the money shows up. But if you were to eavesdrop on his conversations in his mind throughout the day, I bet you wouldn't even hear the word money. Like, it's not something he thinks about. And because of that, it's not something he has issue with. You really have to, again, it kind of comes back to what you're always dwelling upon. When you call the girlfriend 10 times, it's not to say, you know what, I found this great outfit and it was so great and it's beautiful and I want to wear it. It's the negative stuff, right? And so people just don't want to, they want to still be able to gripe and have the positive result. And the two really just don't go hand in hand. You really have to at least notice. It really is noticing and getting conscious just for a moment about what you do with money. Like, are you a person at a restaurant that looks at the price first? Are you somebody?
Yes. Depending who's paying.
See? But right in that, in that action, there's a part of you that's saying, I don't want to pay a lot. Like,
Yes.
you're filtering.
Yes.
You're filtering based
Because,
on.
okay, if the salad is $26, I think, well,
Then
I
that
could-
beef for 58 is going to be amazing.
That's right.
No,
That's
I
right.
The salad's going to be pretty good too.
Right.
I think I could make
Probably full of
salads for a
nutrients.
month for that by going to the grocery store.
Yeah, but not a good salad like that.
Right.
It's going to be chock full of nutrients.
So you have to kind
I
of
hope.
well, and see, and there's the belief too, right? Like his belief that a $26 salad will be far better than a $6 salad. His belief will make it true.
The environment's going to be better. The salad itself is going to
The
be better.
service will be better. There's a lot of things that go into. So you have to realize that the things that we do action-wise will tell you the whole story, right? Like if you look at the price in the menu, like if bills make you go and wince slightly when you get the mail, if they make your mood change, right? But the key is to actually notice this. Like my mom called because she's finally going on Medicare and she's like, ah. I'm like, Mom, did you not know this day was coming? Like, seriously. And she's like, I know, but it's here. It's like, really? So here you've been dreading it for the last 65 years. Now you're here, and now you're going to complain. Like, does this cycle ever end? It's kind of like that we're addicted to not getting our way.
We got to
Okay.
stop the cycle.
Yeah. So let's say, for instance, okay, I just admitted that I look at the price first on the menu. Unless I'm not paying for it, then sometimes I don't. But I still do. I still look.
Okay, you
Just
still
to see.
look.
I still look. I admit it. I've noticed it. Now what?
Well, do you like that?
If I'm
does it
paying
bother?
for it, yes.
Well, seriously though, in an ideal world, would you like to care about that? Like, is that?
Wouldn't it be nice to just get food and not worry about it? Just get the
Yeah.
best food for your body and not worry about it.
Sure.
Cool. That's
Okay,
awesome.
so then what's my next step?
Is to identify what it is you tell yourself about the pricing.
That it's too expensive for that item.
But if you look at it, no matter who's paying, is it like, I don't want to pay it, I feel that I can't pay it? Like, you really want to get to the...
Okay, I don't want to pay it.
You don't want to pay it. Okay,
Yeah.
so then why are you at the restaurant?
Good question. Because I live in Las Vegas.
Valid question.
It's like, yeah, no, okay.
So it's
Valid
intentional suffering.
Okay, so if I'm at the restaurant because someone invited me to go for dinner,
And
Okay.
they're probably paying though.
probably yes.
So you're good.
So,
But do you sit there nervous like the bill's going to come and you're going to get
So
stuck
maybe
with
they'll
half?
make you pay half.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You should have said that
exactly.
ahead of time.
See?
Yeah,
So-
thank you for paying for everything and inviting me to dinner. Just throw that out beforehand.
No, but really what you'd want to do is deal with the fact that there's a lackful component to money supply. And you want to look at that. Like, this does not feel good. Like, seriously, it doesn't feel good when you have to look at the price, right? No matter who's paying.
Yeah.
That's not like, yay feeling. That's like a, oh God, it's $26 for this.
it's what would I have to trade? It's kind of like a trade, yeah.
Oh, what you'd have to, so see,
Trading
not,
time for money.
you can't, again, money, there's a thing like you're indebted. If somebody pays for something, like it's tit for tat. Right? So again, nothing to do
so
with
to
money.
Speak, so to speak.
But this is where it's good because a lot of people will notice their beliefs, and even if they have nothing to do with money, there's a definite, if I do this, then you have to do this. Like
Right.
checks and balance,
So-
ledger that kind of keeps,
Yeah. And some relationships work that way. That,
if that's how you have them work, for sure.
okay,
We've had a relationship and it's never been tit for tat.
right.
So,
But you pay for your coffee, I pay for my coffee. So I'm not buying the expensive coffee, right?
so does money have to be in the exchange? Like
No.
if I do something for you, like I watch your son for 3 days or
Right.
for a weekend, do you
Then
now
I-
feel that you have to do something?
Yes. Yes. I would want to pay you that. Yes.
Fair enough. Well, anyway, we'll work on that with Heather, and that's awesome that we have somewhere to go with that.
All right, so you said the first step is noticing. So if I'm noticing, yes, I look at the prices, whatever that means. I don't know if that's positive, negative, whatever. But once we notice what we do about money, then what's the solution if we want to have a better relationship with money?
Okay, so then you would have to make the decision whether or not you want to keep believing that. It's kind of like somebody always late. Do I want to keep putting up with this? And then once you decide you don't, a belief is just a thought you think over and over and over again. So then you've got to get on with thinking, I am worthy of a $27 salad. I do not care what the price is. I'm going to order
$26 a minute.
inflation.
She's making it even more expensive.
You know, to really get on with believing something else. So that means thinking different thoughts. Like, I don't care what the price is. Today I'm just going to go in and judge on what I want. In fact, I'm not going to look at the price, right? It's doing something different too.
Okay.
It's not to keep doing the same things that the old Heather would do when you walked into a place or judge a place by the price, but more how it would feel, and then really choosing new beliefs, right? Because the
Okay.
beliefs you're in charge of.
So
Very
it's
nice.
about the feeling rather than it being about spending all this money that I don't have. Like, we're not telling people, okay, if you have $50 in the bank, go buy a $26 salad.
No, but I would definitely get a new
It's
attitude.
$27 now.
A new,
Add a chip, it's 32.
that's right. But definitely choice. It's all about choice. And you get to decide if you want to keep believing that now. And if not, you've got to change the station. It's like radio.
Okay.
Change that station to be on the station where now you are worthy of it, or making the decision to not go in those places any longer where you
Right.
put yourself. That's the other thing, right? Don't call the negative person and try to make them positive. Just don't call. Just
Right.
don't go to the restaurant until you feel you would not be swayed one way or another.
Good point, because McDonald's has salads too.
That's right.
There you go. Well, Shelby, thank you so much for your help. Thank you for helping us understand money. And where can we learn more about you?
At my website, visit www.shelbycollinge.com.
Excellent. Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Thanks, Shelby.